Hello guys, welcome back. We have a special episode. It's our weekly, what's that on my bench? The start of our new weekly show called World of Warcraft Wednesdays, because we're going to be cooking through this book. We got tipped some money to buy this book from our amazing mod Jezzy, which we're very excited to cook through. So we're going to be making 2, 3, 4 recipes a week every Wednesday. So we're going to start with some delicious food tonight. I'm very, very excited. But before we go into tonight's room, let's go to last time we're in the kitchen. It is the start of our week, so it was a long time ago. Let me figure out how to do this. God, bloody iPad. So we did Italian theme on Saturday. So that was the last time we cooked in the kitchen. We didn't end up on, we streamed games on Sunday. So we did oh, that's a bit dark. We did a special theme stream around the world for Bella Fire. So we made some mushroom arancini. This is the zeppole. This is the Italian donuts. Really delicious. Next time I think that I'd serve them. I was talking to Belgor, my brother, who popped in randomly at the end of the stream, and we think there is a bit too much yeast in the recipes. So we'd either prove them again. I think they needed some sauce rather than the icing sugar. I think they're a little bit too dense, I think. But the mushroom arancini was a hit, and the pasta primavera was something unexpected. Exceed and I loved it. We ate it for the next few days, and we were so impressed. It was something that we'll probably eat again. I was a little bit nervous with the vegetables and it being like a cooler, pasta with no real sauce, but that roasted carrot and roasted veggies in there was so tasty. We received $15 on tips, lots of follows, subs, bits, and hosts. So it's been a lovely week. All right, guys, bring on that chat, Exceed. I don't know if I'll end up. King Nappy, hello, welcome back. April and Ash Wolfrunner. Hello guys. How's everyone doing? So, are you gonna do a Halloween? Oh, of course we're gonna do Halloween theme. Is that even a question? Yes, we are. I am working on it at the moment to see what theme we'll do. I want to surprise you guys, but if you have anything Halloween themed, send it through to me because it might go in there. I like to surprise you guys, but we are. It's going to be a biggie, I think. We're going to put a lot of planning. We're starting now. So we've got over a month to start planning it and getting all the stuff we need. So it's probably going to be the first big theme stream in the kitchen, which I'm pretty pumped for. Look at this overlay and look at the green screens. Isn't it amazing? Exceed streamed for the very first time on his own account. Streaming him making all of the graphics and things for the stream. So he did catch it. I was very impressed. He's very, very talented and great personality for streaming. I think that he needs to do it more often. Hey April. I can just see in the corner of my eye through the blinds, Chester running around. It's a little bit distracting. I love, since being in this house, it makes me so happy. Every time I see him running around, both of the dogs playing together, it just melts my heart, because this is the reason we moved, was to give them a nice backyard. And if you can hear that little bell dingling, Chester's got a toy with a bell in it, and he's bringing it to Romeo, I think, and running around. He's got the zoomies. But enough of dog chat. How's everyone been? How's everyone's week? What's been happening? Okay, so I have this is what my other iPads usually sits on. This is a cooking book holder. So if necessary, I can put the cookbook in that. But today's recipes, what we're gonna do, cook directly from here. So I don't have any bookmarks, so I have some paper, cheap. But we're gonna start with some flaky pie dough because we're gonna make a pie. So we need to make that in the food processor. Unfortunately, the food processor the lid hasn't arrived yet, so I'm going to see if I can use the old lid. Yellow King Nappy? What? Okay, so flaky pie dough first, and then what's next? Oh, these are tracker snacks. So the cute thing about this book, see, it's like flavored crispy bacon, but you put spices and brown sugar on it, which is very, very delicious. But it says here, you've got skill level apprentice. Can I zoom in on this? So it says skill level apprentice, prep time 10 minutes, cooking about 20 minutes, makes about 16 to 20 pieces, depending how much you use, and then pairs well with chocolate, creamy cheese, and bean soup. So it's such a beautiful book. Nikki, welcome back. So then it says, the delicious smell emanating from this hot plate of tracker snacks will definitely help you find your wayward house pets. But be careful that you don't attract unwanted attention from other beasts. So then you've got pictures. The quality of these pages is just phenomenal. I'm so impressed with the book. Okay, so then, oh, I lost my, no, that one goes in there. So the flaky pastry is just in your basics. So it says skill level apprentice, prep 15 minutes, chilling 30, and then makes one batch. And then it says the dough can be used in these recipes within the book. So you've got the meat pie that we're gonna do, grashu, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Grashu or graku. Anyone? Oh, where am I? Graku's homemade pie, that's the one we're making today. You can also make bloodberry pie, chocolate cherry pie. J-Brad, thank you for that tier 3 sub. Thank you very much appreciated. 4 months in a row. It does look high quality, it does. Thank you very much, it's lovely to have you here. So just explaining the book. So these are the basic section, so it's full of different spices. This spice blend we're also going to use for the tracker snacks, which is like the brown sugar bacon. So there's the different spices. So you've got Panderian spices, autumnal spices, holiday spices. It's very similar to like a pumpkin spice, really, I think. They put a lot of effort into it, definitely. Northern spices, the one that we're going to be using is this one here, the northern spices. So it's a blend of cardamom, juniper berries, smoked salt, which I don't know, I've never tried smoked salt, pepper, ginger, and allspice. And then you blend them up in a grinder or a food processor. Thank you for that redemption, Ash. We'll get into it in a few minutes. For double the thing. That cookbook is really cool. Yeah, isn't it? And that's why I wanted to do like a theme stream each week. 4 times 3 equals 1 year. Yeah, Jeffrey, that's it. And then you put it in a food processor or a grinder, like a coffee grinder, and then you can keep the store it in an airtight jar, which is really cool. And then you can use it in these other recipes. You've got normal whipped cream, royal icing for different recipes, glazes, different types of dough. So you've got a pastry dough and then a flaky dough. So this flaky dough can be used in the meat pie, cherry pie, pumpkin pie, and then the buttery pastry dough is more for that croissants and strudels, which is really cool. You've got sides. So out of the sides in here, we're going to be making tracker snacks, and then we'll work our way through. I should have started from the top, but I wanted to do some theme. So next week is Oktoberfest, so we're going to do a brew fest, a brew feast from the book. So we've got some really nice beer themed recipes. So, okay, let's find it. So you got tracker snacks there. So that's the bacon one we're gonna do. We're also going to do banana bread. So this one here, the sweet treat ever found in, I don't know some of these words, guys. Scholomance, and just the thing to help you face whatever trials lay ahead. But pace yourself, too much soft banana bread is known to be unkind to the necromancer's figure. Oh, that's so good. So skill level for this one is expert. If you can hear that noise, that is Chester. He has a toy pig that his granddad gave him. Exceed's dad gave both of our dogs a pig each. Chess. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sounds like he swallowed it. Hello. You can't have that on stream. It's stream time. It's stream time, puppy. You gotta be quiet. Hey, Fire 88. Welcome back. Oh, hey, Rome. Okay, no pigs. I knew this would be troublesome. It's like the little pig from Toy Story. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have squeezed it, Nate. I've made you. That sounds awful. On their collab cooking stream on TwitchCon. No way! So they're doing like a stream, like a panel at TwitchCon. That's so cool. J Fry. They were the best hosts. That's really cool. I'd love to see some more pictures and stuff and hear more about it. Sounds awful. Cute. Some people say it's cute. Some people say it's awful. I think it's a horrible, horrible noise. It's a pretty cute toy, you reckon? Yeah, I read that, Exceed. The meetup. Cool. Very cool. I have the same pig for my dog. It's purple. No way. So, soft banana bread. This one here, though, is level expert. I don't know why. It's just you mix it and then you bake it. So, the skill level expert, prep 10 minutes, baking 1 hour, makes 1 loaf, pairs well with breakfast of yogurt and granola, afternoon tea. Okay. You're going to eat it with yogurt and granola? Sure. Yeah, he's doing a panel as well, but this is going to be a collab stream outside of the con. Oh, cool. What does this panel involve? That's cool, because there's the competition. We entered it for a panel at TwitchCon. Very cool. And then there's other breads and things. We've got ages, got weeks and weeks to do it out. I'm just going to help out with some stuff. Very cool. They're getting an Airbnb to stream with like 4 other cooking streamers. Oh my god, that would be so cool. Oh, you made me so jealous. I really want to go to TwitchCon. But just not doable, unfortunately, next year. Thanks. Send it to me in a private message if you can, or like a PM, so I can actually see it after the stream. Cool, so this is the, I don't know how to pronounce that, guys. Is that Grashu? I don't, if it's a character. Homemade meat pie, so the skill level is master. So I don't understand why the skill level for the banana bread's expert, but then this is master. Is it go expert then master, or master then expert? I don't know. Prep 1 hour, 45 minutes, cooling 30 minutes, makes 1 pie, and you can serve it with mashed potatoes, dark beer, and then the mincemeat fruitcake. All right. Smokewood pashes bring all the best flavors of the holiday season to the market near you. Nothing will warm you to the bone during winter, a feast of winter veil like a slice of delicious meaty pie. Cool, thank you very much. Yeah, if you want, that would be great. You can post it. All right, so we're gonna start with, we need to start with the flaky dough. But remember I was telling you last week, my food processor broke. The lid, however, they're supposed to be sending me one in the mail, but the lady put the wrong address in and put it to 20 instead of 29, the house I live at. So it got delivered to the wrong place, and the guy was keeping an eye on it for me because they sent 2 packages. And then I messaged him for the second one, and he was like, oh no, it hasn't arrived yet. And then he messaged me later and said, oh, I asked my mum and she sent it back. So now I have to wait for the company to send out another one actually to my house, hopefully. Cross fingers. Tips and tricks from professional chefs. Oh, so it's a group? That's really cool. I'd love to see that. Okay. So, food processor, I think what I need to do is just be able to put a pin in here, and then as I shut it, it locks. And then hopefully. Pumpkin soup in a pumpkin is good for Halloween. Pumpkin soup in a pumpkin. Oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. Okay, in here, basically a very, very simple dough. What we need is 2 1/4 cups of flour. So we need cold butter. It's really important because you don't want the fat you want it to solidify, you don't want it to melt, because what will happen when it bakes, that fat will melt and then it will create nice layers between your dough. In the pastry, I mean. Okay. I've had a squash, like a spaghetti squash, or because you guys call squash something that we would call like a pumpkin, I think is it a butternut pumpkin? You guys call butternut squash. There's a few differences sometimes. Jennifer, what is top 5? Okay, so I hope this works. 1 fruit salad with ice cream in a pineapple. Do you know I've made, what was it? One time we did a Hawaiian themed stream. We did pineapple chicken inside a pineapple. We weren't allowed to call it, we got raked over the coals by Reddit because we called it huli huli chicken, and huli huli literally translates to round because it's like a rotisserie chicken. And so we spin it. We didn't do it like on a rotisserie properly, but we were like, they said that that was not huli huli, and huli huli isn't even, I don't know, like it was just, Reddit just likes to argue for the sake of arguing sometimes and just be negative. But it just made me laugh because it would look really pretty, and that was the most important. I didn't want to take the photo down, even if it wasn't correct. The picture looked really beautiful because of the pop of yellow and the beautiful charred meat. It was really delicious. Oh, okay, so we have flour in here, and then we want to add 1 stick. Hey Google, what is 1 stick of butter in grams?
On the website bhg.com, they say 1 stick or 1/2 cup butter is equal to 4 ounces or 113 grams.
113 grams. I can do that. It'd be so fun to see you guys at TwitchCon. We will have a blast. We will definitely be there. If we could get there this year, 100% we would. Wouldn't we exceed? I said to him today that we should just go to Nepal, because we were talking about going to Nepal this year and next year, and I was looking at all our photos, and we should just like run away, even though we just got here. We just got back and moved in. Chroma Key is picking that up a bit, yeah, because it's yellow. I don't know. It doesn't look anything like the green screen, but that's why I can't wear, like when we do theme streams, like St. Patrick's Day, can't do. Everything green gets picked up. The last butter stick I used was 150 grams. Oh, but I think the stick of butter, American stick of butter, is different to Australian stick. Because I know the ones you're talking about, yeah. It's because yellow is close to green. Technology being done, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so might do a little bit more. It's like 120, better not do any more. Cool, so cold butter is gonna make a flakier, more delicious dough. So what we wanna do is just put this in here, blop, blop, blop. Cut it, or just break it with your fingers. And coolest butter I've ever seen. Wit, how you doing? Welcome to Smelly Mix. All right, so we have butter. Now we need some cold water. So we need 1/4 cup of cold water. So this is just gonna help bring it together because that fat, that butter is solidified. It's gonna want to melt to bring the dough together. So that butter. Hey guys, Kim Wynn, thank you so much for that follow. Humblebees, welcome. Hi guys. So we're making some World of Warcraft themed food today from the World of Warcraft cookbook that we were gifted. Sorry, the internet is shit here. Which dish are you on to from the book? So right now we're just doing the pastry for the pie. So we're doing the flaky pastry first so we can get that in the fridge to cool. Alrighty. So here we have butter, flour, and water. Whoa, okay. So let's see if this works. So I was just saying that my food processor lid is broken and there's another one in the mail. So what I think I'm gonna do is put something in here like a pin. So when I put it in and twist it, kind of locks it, and there's a safety mechanism and I need to kind of get around it a little bit. This is everything that broke. I'm a WoW cooking master in-game. Molly, these are my amigos. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hey guys. So I think it's this bit that's missing. Let's just do what we can. I'm not up to the bit. No, okay, that's not the bit. I'm not up to, my panda isn't leveled up yet. So, and I'm trying to get Exceed to buy the Battle of Azeroth, but because I'm not a big gamer. So if you're new to the stream, you'll learn that I just need to push that down. Yes, I did it. I'm more of a cook and I'm getting into games slowly, but it's for someone that hasn't gamed their whole life, it's a little bit intimidating when you come on Twitch and then you start playing and everyone's giving you lessons and there's so many games to choose from, so I'm a little bit overwhelmed. But we have a designated stream night where we play games, which is evenings with Exceed. But other than that, we do theme streams, and I like to cook. I feel much more comfortable in the kitchen, definitely. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mute the mic and I'm going to blitz this, pulse it so it quickly just start and go. So then it flips the pastry around and then it gets it combined, and then I'll unmute and I'll show you what we're looking for, okay? Alrighty, so what we've got at the moment is going to be like very fine breadcrumbs, but if you push it together with your hand, it's gonna stay. So you can keep it like this. I'm just gonna blend it a little bit more until it warms up a little bit, just so that it stays together a little bit more. It's more cohesive, okay? So we're gonna mute the mic one more time. There we go. Okay. Take that off like that. I'm so hungry. Put in the chat is what Nick Flair looks like. Told you he's a dude. Ah, yeah. Nikki. No, it isn't. God, don't be nasty. Alright. That is an aggressive denial. Oh, you guys. So, this should be able to come together. Let me get another bowl. It's just a little bit hard to kind of deal with it in that bowl. If you find that it's not coming together, you can add a little bit of water. What I did, it's a little bit, well, Romeo. It's a little bit dry. It's also the weather right now. So a lot of baking has to do with climate. Sometimes you'll find that more humid weather, that you will need a little bit less moisture. There's more moisture in the air, so then you'll need less moisture in your baking. As you get more confident in the kitchen and more confident, especially with baking, there's a lot of people that are phenomenal cooks and not comfortable and hate baking because you need to be really precise with baking, which for me, I enjoy, but at the same time, I like cooking, but I'm also not a patient or a very, what's the word? I don't really care too much with it. So sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. So it's really important paying attention to the climate, and you'll learn as you progress what to look for, of how it's supposed to look and how it's supposed to come together. At the moment you can see that it's really dry, so we'll need a little bit more moisture, so we can add some water. We don't really want to add any milk because there's no milk in the recipe. So you don't want to add any more milk solids, but if you put a little bit of water and then bring it together and just push it with your hands. Did you forget my redemption? Me, Ash? What do you mean? Alright. So what we're going to do in a minute when this all comes together, so it's warming up with my hands. That butter, and we're going to put it back in the fridge to harden so that we can roll it out. So how long have you guys been playing? Who plays World of Warcraft and how long have you been playing for? Who's not a big fan? And Jafra, I did see your comment before. It was very, very sweet. Thank you very much about my skills in gaming. You do really great in games, Molly. My biggest advice is that you're too hard on yourself, definitely. Do you ever get afraid of you losing your ring? They don't really come off too easily. When I first got it, I was very nervous because it would slip off all the time, but now it's really hard to come off. So I get more worried about getting it dirty, especially with cooking. I cleaned it yesterday and all of this crap come out, like it was like dried stuff, and I was like, ugh, I really need to take my ring off more often. That's the problem. Not a fan of WoW, but GW2. I've watched it, but I don't play. Okay. Have you ever played, guys? Hey girl, Denosker? Is that how you say your name? My brothers grew up, when I grew up.
I can't help with that
Hey
yet.
Google, thank you. Stop. When I was young, my brothers played WoW a lot. And so my mum was very negative. A typical mother, parents not understanding, that generation. My mum and dad were very, and still are, very negative on games. My mum calls it the shit box. And when I heard all that negativity growing up, I was like, oh, I don't really want to play games kind of thing. and I never got really into it. I played a little bit of like Nintendo and stuff, but never got into computer games. And it wasn't until I met Exceed that he showed me the communities behind it, especially like Twitch. And I've really seen a whole nother side of it, you know, more positivity than negativity, which has been really nice. And it's been really lovely, but my skills aren't great. And like J Mood said, I'm very hard on myself and I like to be good at things. So I'm not very patient, you know, progressing and playing games. That being said, I've played, I think I'm liking the story games. So we played Unravel 2. I really enjoy Ghost Recon Wildlands. A little bit of FPS. I really liked the Call of Duty and Battlefield campaigns because I'm not good at multiplayer, but I know where the enemies are coming from, so I can focus on that direction. Whereas multiplayer is just way too fast paced and they always shoot me from behind. So I definitely need work. But now they've taken all the campaigns out of the Call of Duty, so that might be a little bit. Okay, sorry guys. Sid's gonna get him and take him to the office. Wait, you played the Battlefield campaign? Which one? Which one, Jennifer? Your fave game was Subnautica. Yeah, Subnautica was amazing. I did like Hardline. I really enjoyed Hardline. I feel like I could play it again, maybe on stream. I am super picky about games, yes. Games and play are one of the most important things to our species way before we even had spoken language. Grim Darsley, thank you for that follow. Only did a little work on Hardline. See, Jeffrey, it's still, like, I'm so impressed. Like, you know, that by your work and things like that. Let me just get this dog. Have you ever played Pokemon? I played it on like not Super Nintendo, Game Boy when I was a kid, but not lately. Although, that being said, I did get into a little bit of Pokemon Go, a very small amount. Maybe we went driving around around our town once or twice when it first came out, but other than that, not really. Go, 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 go. Go, go away. Come here, go away. Okay, pastry is in there. So, what should we get on to next? I think we should do the filling for the pie. Pogo is great too. You should just know that cooking skills are equally impressive to me. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, so that's the banana bread. We'll get into that in a minute. Oh no, my impressive, look, these are my impressive bookmarks and now I've lost one. Oh shit. Where's this? No, I don't want desserts. I want the pie. Where's the pie? God, I need some proper, like, pretty bookmarks that stay there. There it is. No, there it is. Cool. So this is the pie we're gonna make. So it is like a beef and veggie pie, but for you meat lovers out there, god damn it, it's got a lot of meat in it. So we've got, this is called gravy beef. So it's a type of beef that is used for stewing. So it's got a lot of connective tissue, and it's a hard-working muscle in your cow. But it's really cheap, so it's only $14 a kilo. So for all of this was about $9. The thing is it's not a tender cut of meat. So a lot of people are really shy away from food like this because you either want to chew it a lot or you cook it slowly and it turns into the most amazing, tender, juicy cut of meat. The more work that the beef does, the more if this isn't a leg or the part of the cow, the more work it does, the more flavor it has got in it. But it just means that you need to either cook it for a little bit longer. You got to put a little bit of love into it, and it turns into a beautiful part of meat. Make it fall apart. Yes. These, we also have some sausages. I'm gonna admit that I had a sausage. I cooked 2 sausages before stream because I hadn't eaten anything all afternoon. So we've got these ones here are beef sausages with mountain pepper. Mountain pepper is a spice that is native to Australia. It's an indigenous spice. So we have 4 sausages here. We have about a pound of beef. And then we also have a pound of ground beef as well, okay? Selective reading. She also missed both times I brought it up. Sorry, Ash. What do you mean? Oh no. What did I do? Definitely forgot. I'm so confused. I didn't read it. Exceed's trying to find it now. He's scrolling through chat. Redeem double or nothing. Oh god. Yes, I did. All right, let's play basketball.
Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, you wanna jam.
What a beautiful photo of me. Like that?
Hey, yo, what you gonna do? Hey, yo, what you gonna do? Hey, yo, what you gonna do?
Alright guys, double or nothing. The rules are on the screen. So I've got 3 shots. If I get any of them in the game is done, I get a point. I think this was Belvor. Belvor was in the stream. My brother, Chef Belvor, and his sausage skills are a lot better than mine. That's what I have to say. I redeemed double or nothing when you were talking about recipes. Alright guys, let's go. Let's go, Ash. Step on up.
Everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space
I'm gonna
Jam.
put my hand over my eye. Turn to the side.
Wave your hands in the air if you feel fine.
Where'd that go? It's got to be somewhere.
Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam.
One more.
Come on, it's time to get hyped.
Aww.
Come on, all
Ash.
fellas saying who?
500 milliliters coming your
What the
way.
ladies saying who?
Oh baby.
Now, all the fellas saying who? Yeah, it's hard. Come on and ride, baby, ride.
Please never let Bell go to basketball again. I will not. Promise. Alright, I'm sorry. He was way too good. And then he shut his eyes and then he still got it in. Yes. It's in the blood though. I'm pretty good. No, just not then. Just ignore that. Alright, so back to the recipe. We're gonna get some cooking done. That's what people come here for. Okay, so we've got gravy beef, we've got sausages, we've got ground beef. This cam is frozen too. We'll get Exceed to fix that one. I don't know what's going on. All my cams are frozen. We're looking, because the rig that we run everything for our stream gets overloaded and it turns off, or it like flicks between the USBs, and we have 4 cams going on plugged into Exceed's computer and it overheats. So sometimes we're having some issues and we want to upgrade our whole stream. So like the stream deck is for one of the pieces that we need, but it's basically we need to do a whole new rig to stream and have that in the kitchen because Exceed's he can't function and use his computer for the stream as well as do stuff that, you know, there's just too much input. So please be gentle with us, and please be patient when things go wrong. We really apologize, because what we're saving up is for a whole new computer, so that we can run easier without things happening. I see a lot of backyard freestanding ones. What is this? He added it before it showed you Miss or Me. What? Do people in Australia have basketball hoops in their driveways? Yeah, we do. There's heaps of freestanding ones and ones that you can nail to the roof as well. Chad, how you doing? Welcome. We had one as kids that my dad nailed to our balcony, so that when we're down we could like play hoops. But it was in the middle of this weird like courtyard where it wasn't like flat ground. You had like rocks and bricks. You know how you have the bricks with the rocks in between them? It was like that. So every time it would bounce in weird directions. So you kind of had like quick call on your feet kind of thing. You know what I mean? Okay. But yes, did you have one, Jayfra? So the meat we've gone over about 5 times. As well, over here we have some carrot, some leek. So leek, some carrots, some vegetables, some celery. The recipe calls for beer, but we have no beer in our house. But you would use like a dark beer. I'm just going to use some beef stock. If you wanted to, you could put some malt in there. But yeah, I would recommend having beer. That flavor of beer, in addition to the beef stock, really can't be replicated. And we'll put some peas in at the end as well. Cool. Let's get started. Yeah, we had one in cement on the side of our driveway growing up. It was there when we moved in. Nice. It's always good when you're a kid and you're like, yes, score. Now I have to find my chopping board. Okay. So, first things first. Who likes a good meat pie? Are you guys picky about your pies? Would you just like beef or chicken and veg? What do you like? I think I prefer, I would say, if I'm eating a big pie, like the one that we're gonna make, I like some veggies in it because it's more of a meal. Whereas if you get those mini, like the Australian quintessential pies, the hand pies, I prefer like beef, plain beef. Pepper beef is really nice, or pepper steak. That's one of my favorite. Okay, let's swap knives. One's more sharper than the others. Not picky, just carrots, peas, and potatoes. Ooh, that's nice. Potatoes are good. I get a little bit nervous to buy potatoes because the only way that I've been eating them lately is roasted, squished with some garlic butter on top. And you can't have that on the stream so often. So I just have to say no Molly, no potatoes. I like the stream, the setup for the stream. Thank you very much. It's nice to have you here, Chad. Okay, so with the leek, let's go over here, take some of this stuff away. So if you're new to the stream, we are doing World of Warcraft Wednesdays where we recreate some of the recipes from the WoW cookbook here. I like a lot of pies, but there is only one person who makes the pie I love. And I only can get it once a year. How come? Ash, I feel like there's a story in this. So the leek here is, sometimes you only want this part, the white part, but I like to take it up to here. It's very much like a big spring onion or a scallion. Really delicious flavor, very much like an onion. And you want to take it to about here, this top of this green part. Any more, then you start to get like more dirt and it's just a bit icky. So still, because it is a ground veggie, you still want to wash it really well. So I'll show you how I do it. Now I've got dirt everywhere because I opened up those leaves. That thing is massive, it is. So I cut it in half like this. And the really big thing, especially towards the green end, is you want to flake it out like this underneath the sink and wash in between those leaves, because that's where the dirt's going to get, like specifically sand. Leeks grow in sand, and you just don't want them, you want them in the sink, not in your meal, or not in your tea. You guys bitten into something with sand? Ew, gosh. Oh, the puppies are on the floor. Chester's very, very tired. He must have been running. He's asleep. Okay, he's asleep. Take a leak, Molly. All right, so just cleaned in between there. So you want to flip it over. Make sure you've got no sand on your bench. Flip it over, and you're going to be cutting half moon shapes, okay? And remember with this, you don't have to be accurate with your cutting, because it's all gonna be cooked into a pie, and it's going to be covered in a really delicious dark sauce, so no one's gonna look. Everyone's just gonna be... Sand is the only reason I sometimes don't like scallops. Ah. I've never had sand in a scallop before. Yeah, people aren't going to be worried about your cooking and your shape of your veggies. They're going to be more focused on the delicious meal that you've made. There we go. And then do this one again. Chopping. I love scallops, but they're so expensive, J Fry. And now that I'm home, back into this beautiful state that we now live in again, my family love seafood, which I'm so excited for, because Ixie doesn't like seafood, and so it meant that I could still make it, but I'd have to make it and eat it myself. Whereas I'm excited to show you guys, especially coming into summer, more recipes, including crayfish, because my granddad used to dive for crayfish, but now he just does the crayfish pots. But throughout summer, we always have crayfish, a lot of fresh fish. We're going to go out fishing one day. We might be able to live stream a part of it. And I'm so excited to be home to make more food, seafood and things that I can get my hands on. The ones that I had were immaculate. Okay. Like, I do enjoy oysters sometimes. I'm not a huge fan, like I'm not a fiend for them, like, oh my god, oysters. But I do like them. I never had seafood much until I moved to LA. Ah. So JP, where are you originally from? You're inland, right? Exercise is the bane of my existence. I was tired before I started. Oh, Ash, you going on the treadmill? Okay, so what we're gonna do is I've got a heavy saucepan, and it's quite deep, so it's going to help us cook a really nice filling. And we can keep it in here, and I also can, well, this one I can't put in the oven, but, oh, I don't know, can I put that in the oven? Whatever, we can always move it. Minnow, how you doing? Welcome back. WoW starts with a W and so does Wednesday. I get it. Oysters are weird. I'm originally from Minnesota. I wish I had the Mollytopia map. But we hopefully have an idea for what we're going to do with our subworld map. So we could point out where Minnesota would be. You guys could teach me, really. I don't know where Minnesota is. I feel like Minnesota's north. Because I remember Minnesota from Mighty Ducks. Is it Minneapolis, Minnesota? That's what I remember it was from. I already treadmill, now I am doing planks. Oh God, planks are the worst. Oh, it hurts my lower back. I think you pinned, I did I? So you're in LA now, J Fry. Yeah, I think, quack, quack, quack. It's such a good movie. Keep going, Ash, you're doing an amazing job. I'm very proud of you. Planking's hard. Haven't enjoyed oysters yet. Okay. So we want that nice and warm. I'm gonna put some oil. I actually might use some last little bits of this garlic oil that we've got left over, that we infused last week. Shake, shake, shake. And we'll put in these leeks. I'm figuring out what I'm going to do for this lighting in here, guys, because the lighting's better on this side. However, this is a smaller burner, and I don't really want to cook up there, but we'll see. It seems to be pretty good there. The greenery. Middle of the US, border in Canada. Yes, I remember. Okay, let's read the cookbook. Let's put this up here so maybe you guys can see it. It's like story time. Okay, heat half the butter in a frying pan over medium heat. Add the leeks. Oh, add butter. I'm supposed to add butter. Oops. Butter's just going to taste better, but I'll just do that. There for 18 years and LA for 15 years. Wow. Wow. Okay. So 32 years on the planet. Oh, not that one. Sorry. Okay. So we're melting the butter. Oh no, it's like crinkling the edges of the paper. Garlic as well. Add the carrots and celery next and cook for another 5 minutes. Cool. I would wing this and do it the way that I would usually do it. You could try LED strips and put them on the underside of the cabinet. Like the trimmable ones, the ones that go like there. We were thinking that, but if it didn't work, it would be an expensive mistake. And I think that's probably the thing that we should do, King Nappy. I might try and check some out on Amazon, see if we can pick up some cheap ones. Okay, look at this beautiful butter. Oh. So good. So just turn down the heat a little bit. We need to get some of that garlic action going on. So we're gonna add quite a few cloves. I feel like I'm missing some garlic. We only have 3 little cloves. I should have, oh, there they are. I get this many cloves of garlic without fail each week. Guys, we have a real alien. Yeah, I have to get garlic each week because I run out real fast. And this recipe says 3 garlic cloves, we'll go 6. Well, definitely, you have to do more. Okay, so I'm going to use the fresh garlic. So we've got 3 cloves there. I know King Nappy is a fiend for garlic as well, but who else? Do you guys, because I know there's some people out there that don't like it, or it also makes them feel unwell. People with like irritable bowel and things like that. It does cause a lot of bloating, garlic and onion, but for me, I would willingly put up with it. I don't know how I could ever do without garlic. Onion onion, not so much, but I love garlic. Okay, so for me, I just top and tail, so take off the two ends, and then you want to put the heel of your knife, and then just bang down, and that will kind of break it open and easier to peel. You need a garlic emote. That is the plan. Once we want to get our follower count up some more, and then we will apply for partner one day. We've got a lot more growing to do. Big Woody, how you doing? Garlic doesn't agree with me, but it's worth it. Joe Fries, garlic is heavenly. Hells yeah. So the roasted garlic that we did last week, you just spread on like toast with a little bit of butter, and it is the best. Okay, so this, the only way to get your follower count is up to go back to the old kitchen. Promise. Burn. Which kitchen? You guys are absolutely getting partner someday. Yeah. I was gonna go up there and click the button. You need to go like this. Okay. Garlic like that. Open it up. Like this. There we go. Open it up. I should use a spoon or something, but I haven't bothered. I'll just use the back of my spatula. There we go. And got some nice caramelization going on with those leeks. So we've got leek is, like I said before, a very similar like oniony flavor. Wait, garlic on toast? Yes! So what you do is you get like a whole garlic like this, and then you take off the top just a slight amount, put it in the oven with some olive oil, and really maybe 150, 160 degrees Celsius. Hey Google, what is 160 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
160 degrees Celsius equals 320 degrees Fahrenheit.
320. And then you want to put some olive oil in there and then roast it until it's nice and like a light, like brown. And then what you do is you squeeze it, each of the cloves, spread it on toast with a little bit of extra olive oil. Best thing ever. I promise you. Oh, you can mix it with some butter and spread it. Best thing, hands down. Best garlic bread ever. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop these in half. Cut them in half like that. And then what you want to do, you could do two at a time if you wanted to. Whoop. I plan to match your warheads again if you get more subs tonight. Oh my gosh, Ash. We'll see. We've got J fries. More. So I'm doing 2 carrots. I might do a little bit less, actually. Let's see how much we do. I normally use some type of jelly. Chad, are you talking about garlic? Like a garlic jelly? That's really interesting. A garlic jam. Okay. And this is like a store-bought one? Sounds really cool. I was going to do it tonight, at the end of tonight's stream actually, is make some strawberry jam, because I have a big bowl of strawberries that I have to do something with, and I thought some healthy strawberry jam would be really delicious. You know, because I'm not in enough pain already. The pain of the warheads will take it away from your legs, alright? and your tummy. So are you at a gym right now, or you do it at home? Cutting your celery. I'm going to go over to the stove. Add that in. So we want to get all the veggies done and organized and in the pan before we move on to anything else, because that means that due to cross-contamination, now I can cut meat on this board and not have to worry about other things coming in contact with it or whatever. Excuse me, I should clarify. I used some jam or jelly when I eat toast. Got my exercise mat, shook the dust off. Good job, love it. Okay, so the next one here is some gravy beef. We're gonna chop into cubes. Wait until the dogs stop barking at me. Oh my gosh. Very proud of you. Alright. I'm going to turn the heat off there. I don't need this knife again, so I'm just going to... See how there's a lot of connective tissue here? That's just all going to break down when we've slow cooked it. There we go. And remember, this is going to reduce in size. So I always make the mistake of cutting them to the size that I want them, where you need to cut them a little bit bigger because they will shrink when they reduce in size due to water loss. I have Googled to be able to get my knives cleaned, and for a whole set will be about $50. But then I spoke to my brother, and he has a whetstone so that I can sharpen this with properly, the Japanese way. And so I think he'll come and teach me. Maybe we can do it on stream. Oh, so bad. I read an article online that said before you use your knives, you should sharpen them, and then you should sharpen them before you put them away as well. That's way too much work. And this meat is quite tough because of the connective tissue, so there we go. They haven't seen it before. The exercise mat they've never seen before. When we do yoga, the dogs are so annoying because they always try and lick your face, and they try and do downward dog when you're in there as well. I just dropped my first 64-month. No way. Wow, J Fry, that's phenomenal. I get overwhelmed when I see like 14 or 16 month. 64 month is phenomenal. He was playing DK64, so it was perfect. Wow. That is very cool. I love that. That is so great. Like that is amazing how much you've been supporting your buddy. Okay. Last but not least, we've got our ground beef, and then we've also got our sausage. So you just want to like that. You can see that your sausage casings are holding this kind of like mush. We don't eat a lot of sausages in our house, so it's a rarity that we cook with them. I don't know, I'm a little bit unsure of the filling. If I eat a sausage, I like it to know where it comes from. You know what the insides are. You get me? In a non-rude way. Okay, like that. Go over to the stove. And we'll look at our veggies. Okay, so it says, remove from heat and transfer. Okay, so it says to transfer the veggies to a pie that it's gonna fit all the filling. I don't think that's gonna fit all the filling, but what I might do is, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What dish do I have that's gonna fit the filling? It's round, isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna have to make 2 pies, I think. This would be good. I'll make 2 pies. So we'll make a pretty round one for the bean pie. And then we can have one like left over for evenings with exceed or something like that. Cool. Cool. Here is going to be really hot pan. We're gonna sear that meat. Don't spend much time in there anymore because he averages 1,000+ viewers these days. But so there's not much interaction. Been there from the beginning. Isn't that so nice to know though? That you've been there since they were a small streamer, and I look forward to when we do grow. Making sure that those people that like you guys that have been here for so long know how much you appreciate and the support. I just had to explain to my mum that I was lying with my face on the ground as a stretch, not because I was done. I love that you're doing this while you're stretching and you're working out while you're watching me. It's a compliment, I think. Okay, so the really important thing when you're cooking something like a casserole or like a stew is to brown your meat. And that means like searing your meat. That caramelization, I read this in some study that I've been doing. So when you brown your meat, what happens is it's a chemical reaction with the sugars, the proteins in the meat that caramelizes, and it really increases the flavor, and it's a chemical reaction that changes the meat, and it really it takes it to a whole new level with the flavor and the color reaction as well. If you have a cooked a seared casserole with the meat that's been seared versus not, the color won't be as deep and rich, and the flavor also won't be as enhanced because you don't have that chemical reaction going on. So what you want to do, you want to hear that sizzle when you put it into the pan, and you don't want to overcrowd the pan as well. So by doing this step, you're going to have a much richer, deeper color with your stew. I'm a lurker here normally. Gotta say, these streams make my day sometimes. I agree. I've watched many streamers from the start, and it's great to see so much hard work paying off. Originally found this stream because Brad Lapo showed it to me. Rex, thank you very much. That's so lovely to hear. That warms my heart. You have no idea what it means, for me especially, but streamers to hear compliments like that, because I have a post that I've been wanting to post for a while. When our first stream in this kitchen, we received a really lovely comment, a really nice tweet, and then we also received a private message where someone was really nasty and negative and really hateful, and it was just a contrast in, you know, your content can be is not for everyone, just like your personality isn't for everyone in life, and it's easy for people to be strung up on the negative and, you know, knowing that someone doesn't like them or they're doing something wrong. But for me, I really choose to focus on the positive and the beautiful light comments that we receive. And I think as humans, we're really quick to give negative or constructive criticism and feedback, but it's so lovely when people go out of the way to come into chat and write beautiful comments or private message us with lovely, you know, positive stuff, because it means that we're on the right track and we're doing something really nice. And I really appreciate that, Rex, that you've taken the time to write these comments, and that's why I'm so grateful for our community, because we receive so many lovely messages, and it makes me disregard all the negative crap that we receive as well. So thank you very much. It's made my day with you all, you know. These streams are usually a daily highlight for me too. I'm sure a lot of people here agree. Thank you, guys. I don't talk here much either. I lurk here a lot, but always listening and watching. Such a great place to come hang out. Big Woody, thank you. Oh, just like a love train going on right now. Man, I'm so lucky. All right, so now you've got some browning. If it starts to discolor and go a little bit of darker shade of brown, that's no problem. It's all color, guys, and it's all flavor. If it goes a bit browny black, then that's okay. But see, don't you think when you for the meat eaters in chat, when you eat a steak that's got a little bit of crispy caramelization, a little bit of charring, the flavor is just up here. The level is up here. But when you eat a steak where it's just kind of like pan fried, a little bit meh, then your attitude's a bit, hello, you scared the crap out of me. Oh my God. Chester, we need to give you a chair. I've caught a few streams, they're okay. Oh, thanks, Succeed. Hello, Chess. Crafty Miner Girl, welcome back. You guys are very sweet. Thank you. Okay. And you know, I have to admit, coming back after almost a month away, and we've been traveling quite a lot this year, it is very nerve-wracking coming back to stream. But all I can hear and have been feeling is a lot of positivity, and you know, we're on the right track. We're getting there with our streams. Chester was like, peekaboo. Yes, definitely. And the most important thing is that I'm doing something that I love. Exceed's doing something he's passionate about, and we get to do it together, which is the exciting thing. All right. Now I'm going to add some more of this. I should take this out. So usually you wouldn't put cooked meat with raw meat, but the thing is I'm going to put it all back in the pan anyway, and so the bacteria will be killed. But you never ever want to put cooked meat that you're about to eat with raw meat, because the cross-contamination of bacteria can be very, 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 very bad. There's sausages in there as well. Put a little bit of oil. Hear that sizzle. I see a dog with no pet. It's a little bit hard in this house to see the dog. Chester's a bit taller. Alright. So you're making sure you're not crowding the pan. That's why I'm taking the cooked meat out. And you just want to rotate it. And you don't have to worry about cooking it like fully. because we're gonna slow cook it in the oven, which I need to preheat, by the way. Oh golly. Yeah, see that? What was that noise? Chester, what did you drop? Oh gosh. What, there's a bit of hiding there. Isn't that such a beautiful sound? I think there's nothing better, other than wood crackling over the fire. There's nothing better than a sizzle, a good sizzle. So it's just highlighting to me in chat, if you guys check out the next Make with Molly. Make with Molly will be on the 13th of October. So about 2.5 weeks away. We will be doing old school classics or childhood favorites. So we're gonna recreate Pop-Tarts on stream, mac and cheese, and pizza pockets. It's in 16 days, thanks Xyz, down there. But this is our online cooking class. So it means that you guys get the opportunity, the recipes are up in Discord. You can download them now and cook them and then send in photos. Or you can cook them live with us on stream. And interactive in chat. Our idea is down the track is to get it as interactive as possible and do video chat. And maybe on voice chat with you guys. But for now, it's, you guys cooking along with us, asking questions in chat, and making some really delicious food. So our special guest this month is going to be Belgor, Chef Belgor, my brother. So if you don't know who he is, jump into our VODs because he came in the last few minutes of our last stream in the kitchen. And it's going to be delicious. All right, go over here. Chester, what are you eating? All right, I'm going to turn that off real quick. Let's go check out this stove. Did you say chef? Chef Belgor, my brother. All right, Xyz, do you know what this is? Because I know what this is. This is what Chester was just playing with. Can you guys see that? You guys know what this is? Yes, it is a screw to your computer case. I don't know how many he's eaten already. Oh, I haven't seen him. Didn't know he was a chef. Yeah, he'll be popping in. He'll be cooking alongside me, really. It is a computer screw. So Chester was just trying to eat that. Okay. So now what we're gonna do? Xyz, we can go back to the stove, please. Okay. Now what we need to do is go to the next, cook the sausage and likewise add to the pot. Okay. Rex, really looking forward to the more Louisiana dishes in the future. Interesting to see the differences that others use in our dishes. Cajun life. There was a little bit of contention when the last time when we made some recipes, but I think that's what I love about Southern food is there's so much like variety and influence of like different cultures and things, and so I'd love to create some more food. You should redeem a whole new theme because that was a lot of fun. But yes, I do see the gumbo on Reddit quite often, and people say, it's not authentic, or they do it like this way. But some people like it with more of a white style sauce, and then others, their family made it with like more of tomato base. So it's quite different. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna add our beef. Sorry, I'm always looking. Could seem kind of weird. Work while I watch most of the time. No, not at all, Violet. It's a pleasure to have you in chat, but we love Locust. It really means a lot that you would put us on while you're doing something else and have us in the background. It's really, really cool. Okay, so ground beef this time. I'm gonna take this little bit of so much meat in this recipe. Alright. So while that happens, I'm going to add some spices in there. So the recipe calls for some thyme and some rosemary. I'm going to put some salt and pepper. A lot of southern food ingredients can be exchanged with others. Nearly every time we make a gumbo or rice dressing, we use the exact same ingredients, different almost every time. Yeah, very cool. And that's, you know, it's about, that's what I love about cooking, is you create something with what you've got. You know, sometimes throughout the world, when they, at a time of need and of poverty, so many amazing recipes were created with the ingredients that a lot of wives and mothers would have in their pantry. Chad, thank you for those biddies. Welcome back. Chester, thank you very much. Sorry, what if we Chad? Chester, I'm sorry. Like, say for instance, a scone or bread was used with very basic ingredients, and then when they had the ability to spice it or add different flavors, I was wondering who Chad was. I'm so sorry. You know, different spices would take that very simple recipe and make it, you know, take it to another level, which is really, really great. And that's with a lot of Middle Eastern cooking, using spices. And I think we were talking about this last week, is what would the world be like if we didn't have world trade? And if it didn't happen hundreds of years ago, like, we wouldn't have the spices, everybody, you know, everyone's food would be quite bland, and we're so lucky that it all happened and history happened the way it happened, because each country, their food is influenced. Like, you might have a quintessential dish, say like pizza in Italy, but it wasn't actually invented in China. And it you know, it's just phenomenal when you think about it and find out that history behind food. Okay. I was going to request a Fallout theme a while back, but thinking it would be a challenge since most of the books is rats and roaches. But now you've got a cookbook, Violet, yes. So Jane Mood actually has redeemed Fallout. We're going to try and get our hands on the Fallout cookbook because that comes out in a few weeks. I can get confirmation, Exceed, when it comes out. Okay, you got the beef in there. Just try and mash it up, get out any big lumps. Sizzle's a great noise, but not a great sound for stream. Item will be available late October. Whoop whoop! Yay! Alright, let me get some spices. I didn't even know if I was making a cookbook. Yeah! So it is from, I think it is from, I don't want to say 80s. I think it is from the same author that does this cookbook as well. Guys, I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to run outside into my new garden and get some fresh herbs because I'd rather use fresh. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the heat down on this. I'll be 2 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. Guys, I'm so sorry for leaving. I'm back. So fresh herbs from my garden. Give them a bit of a wash. I'm outraged. I'm sorry. But hey, at least you can just step outside and get free fresh herbs. That's always a plus. Yes. They weren't really free. They took a lot of time to set up. But the garden is flourishing. So I did a Instagram live on the weekend. And I think I'll do one each Sunday to update you all with the progress of our garden. We're hoping to get a webcam that faces, like an outdoor webcam to face outside, so then we can give you guys an update and show you on stream, which will be really cool. But, so I've washed these. Let's go. So you just want to kind of break them up. You don't have to chop them. Because we're going to kind of slow cook it, it'll be all good. So fresh rosemary and fresh thyme in there. Then we also have some salt and also some pepper. There we go. Also, I'm going to add a little bit of flour to this recipe just to thicken and create a nice thick sauce. And that's going to interact with the oil and coat all of the meat that we're going to put in there. And then once we put the stock in, it's going to create a nice thick sauce. Daisy. And now we're going to add our stock. Oh, it'd be nice if I actually ignited the stove again. Bloody thing. Oh gosh. And so I did say before the stream, before we started cooking, guys, this recipe includes beer. I don't have any. It would be really nice with like a dark ale or a stout, I think. There we go. Oh golly, it looks good. Can you guys see that? So in here we've got sausage, we've got ground beef, and then also some nice chunky cuts of beef as well. What I'm going to do is get a spoon. Really important that you're tasting it. Where is Rainbow gone? He used to be here all the time. He got a new job, so he's been a busy boy. Chester. Really important that you're tasting it all the time. Oh my goodness. Wow. Guys, that is going to be one tasty pie. Just a little bit more flour. Flour's coming out, it's got a hole in it. This recipe book is great. Not only good quality, it's really important when you find a book or something that it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you follow a recipe for the first time. You don't know if it's going to turn out right or if it's going to be worth it. But from the way this tastes so far and the quality of the book itself, I think it's going to be a winner. Okay, so I'm going to add in this beef and vegetables, the rest of the veggies, and then we're going to divvy it up. And then I did have some more veggies, didn't I? There's a storm coming, but the rain probably won't fall. Ooh. I haven't had to water my garden for the last 2 nights because it's been raining overnight, which is nice. Look at that. And now, so we're going to put this in the oven. I'm going to put it in the dish and then put it in the oven. And it's going to slowly cook and break down that meat to make it fall apart. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. Chester, does anyone want to pet a puppy? Okay. Now that it's got the veggies in it. I was a bit nervous for making too much, but I think we'll be able to freeze it and have it for evenings with Exceed this weekend, and then also some next week as well. You can always just freeze the meat. You don't actually have to make it into a pie. You can freeze the meat and then use it as a stew if you wanted to. Okay. I think we'll cook it. What I'll do is I think I'm going to simmer it over on the stove top. Instead of putting it in the oven yet, just now I think we'll leave it on the stove, put a lid on it and just let it simmer here. Thank you so much for these bits. Chester, thank you very much. Let me watch more ads so I have more bits. Thank you very much. Okay. So, what we're gonna do you guys want to see this before I put it away? Let's move it here so you guys get actually see it a little bit closer. Look at that. So you've got chunks of beef, chunks of sausage, and then the ground beef in there as well. Look at that. I wonder if putting beer in there would be good. Yeah, so the recipe says calls for beer, but we don't have any, so we're not going to add any. But definitely, I would thoroughly recommend some beer. Alright. Well, I might put it here actually. Cool. Put that lid on and we're going to simmer it away. Like that. What is that? I turned that on silent. Alrighty. So we'll get stuck in, whoops, sorry guys. Beer goes well with a lot of things, and interestingly enough, if you put a can of beer in a whole chicken after seasoning it and wrap it in aluminium foil and smoke it for 4 or 5 hours, the can will burst a few hours in and baste the chicken. Rex, have you tried this? We actually have a beer can, it's called a beer can chicken holder, and it was from one of our viewers who sent it to us like months ago, last year even, and we made it, and the chicken was really nice. We did a PUBG thing. We made a chicken dinner, and it was really nice. But I was doing some research on it, and the beer can itself doesn't actually heat up enough to steam or whatever. But it's better to actually pour the beer regularly on the chicken. That's what I found. Yeah. Okay. So next recipe. Let me get my recipe book. Let's go banana bread. Oven is on, so great. Cool. Do you guys like banana bread or banana cake better? What are your thoughts? This one has an icing on it, which is very nice. Very a bit more luxurious, I think, having some cream cheese frosting on top. Because in our house we usually just have a simple banana bread. Works in the oven as well. Okay. Alright. I've never had banana cake, never heard of it. It's very similar to a banana bread, if not the same thing, I think. And maybe just a little bit lighter, less dense, and less moist. Okay. World of Warcraft book. So this recipe calls for unsalted butter. I always use salted butter because then you don't have to add the salt in the recipe. So we have some salted butter here. We need some sugar. So I am going to reduce the sugar and also use some stevia. Sugar. I'm just going to reduce this temp a little bit. There we go. Milk, baking powder, and baking soda. So baking powder is going to be a slow rising agent later on once you've baked it. Once you're in the middle of baking, it's going to be a slower rise, whereas the baking soda is going to react with the acid that is in the milk that we're going to add to make buttermilk. That's going to react, and that's going to create an initial first stage of the rising agent, and then the baking powder will come in and then keep it risen. So it is, some recipes are different. Some will call for a larger amount of baking powder. Some will have baking powder and baking soda because it wants it to rise and be nice and fluffy. Okay. So then we've got 2 eggs. Let's go and get the eggs over here. We've got some bananas. Of course, 2 bananas. So butter, eggs, sugar, milk, baking powder, baking soda, and then bananas. It is 2 ripe bananas. I've got 3. You might be able to use all 3. Just as the dog is like he's a puppy, so he's only 11 months old, but he has a lot of energy, and if he doesn't have a way to output that energy, he just gets naughty. And at the moment we don't have a dog door to go outside, and if we leave the door open we get insects on the roof, which hasn't been good, obviously. So we've kept the door shut, and now he's being naughty. You're very annoying. You are. Can you go and see Papa? Chester slams through door, yes. Pretty much. You're quite annoying. Let me wash my hands. Okay. He doesn't like to be held, so if he thinks that every time he comes near me, I'll hold him, then he might stay away from me. Okay, so mashed bananas. First we need a bowl. Move this over here. Mashed bananas. You can do this in a food processor. It's so much easier, but we'll do it the proper way and do it by hand. Okay, so in here we want to add the mashed bananas, eggs, vanilla extract. So bananas, like that. I'm gonna do 3 because there's nothing, I don't know what we're gonna do with a spare banana that's old. Oh, maybe I'll just do 2. I don't want to ruin the recipe by adding too many bananas. I might put it in a smoothie or something. Chest. Chester cuddles. So just using a fork. Mash that down. Just pushing it towards the edge, and it will start to break down, and then it will become a lot more liquidy because you're breaking all that cells down. Like I said, you can put it in like a food processor if you wanted to, like a NutriBullet. Okay, eggs. Oh God, it's got a bit of butter on it. Eggs in here. So Ash, what have you been doing with all your bananas? So Ash had, Ash Wolf Runner in chat bought 10 kilos of bananas a few months ago, wasn't it? Now. Okay, so your liquid is going to be your butter, your eggs. We're going to add some vanilla extract. Okay. 1/4 cup of butter. Melted. Okay, that makes it easier. Smoothies. Just smoothies. Anything else? Anything else fancy? I'm going to get some of this butter and I'm going to melt it. We want a 1/4 cup. So I think that is half a stick. Okay, sugar. $10 for a box. It's very, very good. Okay. Butter, 1/4 cup. I'm going to add some stevia just because I want to reduce the sugar amount. But 1/3 cup isn't a whole lot. Does your stream still say Uno? Oh my gosh, does it? Are we streaming in IRL, guys? Or are we streaming Uno? Slippery Hound, how you doing? No, it says cooking in IRL. Cool. Welcome, Slippery Hound. How you doing today? So banana, eggs, butter, sugar. I'm going to get some vanilla beans. turn down our stew. There we go. So this one here is Madagascan vanilla bean paste. So 1 teaspoon of this is equal to 1 whole vanilla bean. Okay. Nice little black dots of heavenly black dots. Okay, half a cup of buttermilk. So to make buttermilk, if you don't have the actual thing, we can create it by using regular milk, regular cow's milk, and adding some type of acid. So the acid is going to coagulate the milk, but that acid is going to react with the baking powder and baking soda to help the cake rise and give it a nice like zestiness. So for those that don't know what buttermilk is it's a byproduct of when you make butter. You turn cream with that friction will have the last effect will be butter, and then the byproduct will be buttermilk, which is like this milky, acidic leftover product. So you can buy it in a jar or a carton, but it can be quite costly. So it's just easier to make your own or a similar product, just using regular milk and some vinegar or lemon juice. I prefer lemon juice. So we're going to use half a cup. So just under half a cup of milk. There we go. And then I'm going to get some lemon juice. Okay. A little bit of lemon juice in here. And you want to let it sit for a few minutes. There we go. And you'll see slightly that it's starting to curdle straight away. So if you let it sit for a few more minutes, it will curdle a little bit more, and then we'll add it in. We also want to add 2 cups of flour. So just plain all-purpose flour. Your neighbour's car alarm. Oh goodness. So that's half a cup. And the reason I'm doing this, adding it slowly and incorporating it, is just ensure that there's no lumps. That's 1 cup. Still using the fork that I mashed the bananas with. One and a half. And before we do that, I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I can find my measuring spoons. Hey, where are you gone? Where's my measuring spoons? Where's my spoon? You see, it tends to put things in really strange places. Really strange. Oh no! Oh no, they're gone. Measuring spoons. I haven't baked lately. You're not in the dishwasher. What's going on? So annoying. Let's look in here. Oh, there. They're in the pantry for some reason. Never mind. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1. 2. And then also half a teaspoon of baking soda. Background looks great, doesn't it? Look so good. So Exceed, the man behind the scenes, streamed yesterday and did the making of the graphics and things for the stream. So if you are interested to see, you know, some of the things that we do behind the scenes and the way we get ready for streams, make sure you jump over and follow Exceed's channel. It's very good. It's very entertaining. He was doing it while I was at work yesterday. After he finished his work, so he gets up at 3:45 a.m. Here we go. There's that buttermilk. Stir, stirring, stirring, stirring. And then the last thing in here is to add, the last ingredient is candied ginger. So I do have some of that because it's one of my dad's favorite things. It's crystallized ginger. I think this is left over from a Caribbean themed stream. Can't stick around, but I will have some food for me, Exceedorino. Hey, Posh! How you doing? WoW cooking theme. Yeah, we received this from Jezzy. So Jezzy gifted us the WoW cookbook. So we're doing World of Warcraft Wednesdays. Each week we're going to cook our way through the cookbook. Very exciting. So we have some stew, so we're going to be making some, we've got some pie filling on the stove. We also have the pie pastry in the fridge. We're making some banana bread now, and then we're going to go into some trucker treats. So very, very delicious. We need a small chopping board, like this. So this is crystallized ginger or candied ginger. If you guys haven't seen it, just pieces of ginger that has been cooked in a sugar syrup, and then it's gone all candy. So I'm going to chop that up and put that throughout the beautiful banana bread. My pie keeps over bubbling. Okay. I miss the rain. I love winter. So I just finely chop this. It says dice, but I feel like it's a little bit intense to leave through a cake. You need to, especially like a banana bread like this. It's a nice accompaniment, but I think that it definitely needs to be, especially for people that don't know and have never tried and don't know if they like candied ginger. So what about 2 teaspoons? It's about 2 teaspoons, maybe a bit over, but add some beautiful ginger flavour, but the sweetness kind of cuts that acidity. There we go. Just swapping from a fork to a spoon just to make sure that you've got the bottom. And let's have a taste. So good. Okay. Let's find a tin. Okay. So I have a tin like this. I'm going to line it just to make sure that it comes out the way I want it to. Get some baking paper. It's about the same size. Like that. So my little trick, if you haven't been on stream before, you may not have seen it, is lightly spray with some canola spray or oil, whatever you like. You want to put your baking paper in, pushing it down. Use your 2 fingers like this and push to the edges. This is a little bit of a harder dish because the edges are rounded rather than nice and neat. But pull it up into the corner so it's flush. Get your scissors and cut all the way down, and then get this little piece and it will flip nicely and make a nice neat corner. Do the same. There we go. Cut in and down. And then just neaten off the edges if you wanted to. Because sometimes when you're pouring the batter in, you can accidentally flick one of these and then the batter goes on that side, the wrong side of the baking paper. Perfect. Now all you do, you don't have to spray in here because it will be non-stick baking paper, but depending what you're using, get your batter, line it up, and just drop it in. You can see the nice bubbles in there in the batter. So that's the baking soda reacting already with that lemon juice or the buttermilk that we put in there. There we go. Scraping that bowl nice and clean. Get it all, oh, nearly fell in to my hair. Hair flavored banana bread, just what you want, right? There we go. Now into the oven. .180 Celsius, 375 Fahrenheit. I didn't actually set it to the right temp, so we just gotta wait a few more minutes until it gets up to the right temp. You want to put it in a nice hot preheated oven, because what it's going to do is that baking powder is going to react with the heat and it's going to create little air bubbles, and those air bubbles are going to rise and increase in size, and that's going to create that nice height and fluff inside your cake. So you always make sure when you're baking, if it says preheat the oven, it's really, really important, guys. Here is a garnish, right? Of course, of course, of course. Doesn't that look amazing? It's a lighter style banana bread, but I promise when we bake it, it'll go nice and brown. The natural sugars inside the banana will start to caramelize, and then it will take a nice light brown hue. Okay. So go over to the stove, shall we? Check out this mix. It's bubbling a little bit more rapidly than I want. Just give it a nice stir. I feel like it needs more veggies. Okay. So you're ready? Really, the only thing that you need to wait on is this beef. If you wanted to make a very instant pie, you could use a more tender cut of beef, and then it will be ready in a few minutes. But because we have used this blade steak, it will take a good 40 minutes to an hour and a half to slow cook the beef and break down that connective tissue and make it nice and soft and fall apart. Okay, so that's your beef there. It's really hard to tell the difference between a piece of beef and a sausage. Alright. That is a sausage. That is a piece of beef. That's what I want. Cool. Take that out. Let that simmer. Cool. There we go. Okay. So, tracker snacks. Now we have to make tracker snacks. So, last recipe. Okay, now we have, no, I lost my page. Okay, we need to do the northern spices first. So this is the spices that we're going to put on the track snacks. Oh, here we go. Watercraft cookbook. There we go. So here we have some ground ginger that I need to put in this jar, some nutmeg, some coriander, and salt and pepper. So add some salt, flakes, and also some pepper. And we're going to create a nice spice mix to then put on our bacon that we're going to candied bacon. Okay. I need a tray. Snacks. All right. All done with your workout, Ash? All right. So that's just gonna line in there. We have today some bacon. So some thickly sliced bacon rashers. This aside. Depending how much bacon and how much of the recipe you want to actually make. Thinking some nice pieces like this. There we go. And we need to get some brown sugar, and we're going to baste it with brown sugar. We're going to use the natural fat from the bacon. We don't need to add any butter or anything like that. I suppose you could if you wanted to, but it's not really necessary. So you're going to have a salty, sweet snack to nibble on. I kind of don't have enough fruit. Yeah. That's enough. Okay. Put the banana bread in the oven. Now we want brown sugar, that's it. brown sugar is regular sugar that has an addition of molasses. So you can have two types of brown sugar. You can have the dark or the light brown sugar. It's just the quantity of molasses that is inside the recipe. So what we're gonna do is get some brown sugar into the bowl. Just using some mini IKEA bowls. For this recipe, it calls for a pound of bacon. I don't have that much bacon. I'm just using the amount that I have. Maybe like a quarter of a pound. I don't know. And just some brown sugar. It's probably way too much. So we've got the saltiness from the cured bacon. We're gonna add our brown sugar. That's gonna give it some sweetness. And now we're gonna add some beautiful spices. So first we're gonna do pepper. Like that. A little bit of salt, just a tiny bit, just to counteract the sweetness of the brown sugar. We've got some ground coriander. Some ginger, which I need to oops. Now I need to put the rest in here. Oh, ginger's one of my favorite spices. I love it in masala chai tea, gingerbread cookies. It just reminds me of like winter and like autumn as well. Not really autumn, it's more, yeah, autumn, I don't know. Like when it's cooler months. Alright, so a little bit, I don't know if I put any in there, did I? Oh golly. A little bit more. And then the last one of these, some nutmeg. So I'm gonna grate the nutmeg using these cloves. You can, with all of your herbs, you can buy the ground ones. But I really prefer, just from added freshness, to freshly grind them. So buying a coffee grinder is perfect for the small amount that you need. Okay, so there, I just need to find the, I don't know where it is, so I'm just gonna use this. The recipe also calls for juniper berries, but I don't have any and I didn't know where to get them from. Because I didn't have a lot of notice when I decided I was gonna make this recipe. There you go, so that's your blend. Let's have a taste. Yum. That ginger and brown sugar just goes so well together. It reminds me of gingerbread cookies, Christmas, really. Okay, so now what you want to do is just put them all over your bacon. And you could put them both sides if you wanted to. Push it in. This would be good on like pancakes, like candied bacon with pancakes. That salty sweet seems to go really well. Put them over, it's just so that you've got an extra layer. Would you guys eat these? Bacon pancakes, yaksha, yeah. bacon on pancakes with some whipped cream. I don't think I've ever eaten them, but I've always wanted to, but I never had the opportunity. Or I always go just for avocado on toast or something like that. I'm not adventurous enough. No, that's a lie. I always would like a sweet breakfast, but every time we go out, I'm like, I always go savory. I never really get a sweet breakfast. Where's my spoon? Here we go. That bacon proto guy, hello! So yes, this is candied bacon in the making. So this is from the World of Warcraft recipe. We're making tracker snacks, they're called. So I'm just gonna flip them over. So I feel like I did a bigger layer on the other side. There we go. Just gotta make sure you got enough room. And that is going into the oven until it starts to, maybe about 10 minutes until it starts to caramelize. Keep an eye on it, you don't want it to go black. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's go over here. Move out the way, Chester. So we need to make the frosting for our banana bread that's still in the oven. Let me get the mixer. In another bowl, we want to add some cream cheese, a little bit of lemon juice, and also some icing sugar, or what do you guys call it? What do you call it? Confectioner sugar, that's what it's called. So, cream cheese. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm not gonna make, this is such a cool idea for a stream. Thank you very much. After reading this book that we were gifted, I just couldn't not cook every recipe from there. So World of Warcraft Wednesdays, we're gonna start from 1 to go all through the whole book, and we're gonna theme them as well. So next week, for those that know, it's Oktoberfest is coming up next week. In the next few weeks, they have Oktoberfest. So next week we're gonna do, for World of Warcraft Wednesdays, we're doing Brewfest. So we're creating, there's a actual 3 recipes that are from Brewfest, and there are they have couplings of a few recipes for different themings, for like Thanksgiving, Halloween, was it Halloween? Thanksgiving, Christmas, Brewfest, that have been made specifically in the book. So we're gonna recreate them, which is gonna be exciting. Apparently flavor-wise, rosemary is a good flavor substitute for juniper berry. Oh, I didn't know that, I would have used it. Prepping some stuff for making dinner, making some macaroni casserole. Oh, that sounds good, Yaksha. That's very nice. And then once we get through the World of Warcraft cookbook, we're looking at the Fallout cookbook as well. Maybe the Harry Potter cookbook. Wanted to drop by and cheer on a fellow women's streamer. This is super cool. Thank you very much. Alurius, is that how you say no? Welcome to Miss Molly Makes. Thank you very much for the support. It's lovely that you can be here. So my name is Molly. We have Romeo and this is Chester. But we have Exceed, who's the man behind the scenes. So I'm very lucky to be able to run the cooking stream. So for those that have streamed in the kitchen before, know it's a lot of work. But we have green screens, we have a lot of alerts. So cooking and technology brings both of our passions together. And we're so lucky that we're able to do something together that we love and build our community together. We also have a gaming night, gaming streams. So that's evenings with Exceed. So he's on cam and we play games because I'm learning gaming. At the moment we've been playing Overcooked and a bit of 2 Point Hospital and also some Fallout as well. Oh, thank you, Ash. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're making the frosting for our cream cheese frosting for our banana cake. Oh wow, the bacon's all crispy. We'll have a oven cam soon. We have just moved into this house. It's our second week streaming back in this kitchen. We just moved house. We moved states really. We're hoping to get an oven cam to maybe stick onto these benches so you guys can see the action going on. Okay, so cream cheese in here. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. Just a little bit of acidity is gonna balance the sweetness that's gonna come from the icing sugar. Illyrius, thank you so much for that follow. Illyrius, is that how you say it? It's a very pretty, like a beautiful name. Okay, and then we can fix it up a tiny bit. That green screen isn't it? Oh, so Exceed actually for the first time ever has streamed on his own account making all the graphics for this week. And so he made this himself, which is really, really cool. So we'll probably use this same graphic each week for our streams, each Wednesday. But we have the ability to theme the kitchen. So coming up, the next big theme stream will be Halloween. And we've got a month to plan. But we also have our in-stream currency where viewers can redeem us to theme the kitchen and really have a lot of fun. It is very exciting. I do love the ability with the green screens to show things, and we have 2 theme streams, Miss Molly Makes Around the World and Gamer Grub. I'll get Exceed to put them in the chat to give you a little bit of information about it. Okay, I'm just also gonna add some icing sugar. The good thing about cream cheese frosting is it's not too sweet, so it's not overbearing. I should explain who Exceed is. Do you think? So Exceed is the man behind the scenes. He is my partner in crime and my partner in life. And he is amazing. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you this bacon. I'm gonna whip it out of the oven real quick. This is our caramelized bacon in the making called Tracker Treats. So it is bacon that has been basted with some brown sugar, some ginger, nutmeg, salt, pepper, and also some cardamom. So it's gonna caramelize and go really, really crunchy and delicious. Our banana bread's in there as well. And we also have this is our filling for our meat pie. So in here we've got ground beef. We also have some beef sausages with indigenous spices. So a pepper, Australian, is it called mountain pepper? And then we also have some beef, some slow cooked beef that we're going to slow cook, and then it's going to fall apart. So that's why we're just simmering it on the stove. And then we've got a really thick, hearty sauce as well. Okay, so I'm going to mute the mic and we're going to do a quick Miss Molly mix and we'll play some music. There we go. All right. Ash, you're so sweet. It does 90% of the time. I wouldn't say 99. Sometimes we make some doozies, or it doesn't look too great, but it tastes amazing. But you know, I self-taught, and so my brothers always used to make fun of me when I was a kid because they said that I was like a scientist in the kitchen, that sometimes they said it was like a 50-50. Sometimes things would work and sometimes they wouldn't. But that's the thing, in cooking you have to be able to try, you have to try different things and make mistakes, because that's the way you learn. Just in life, you have to make mistakes because that's the way you learn, the way you get better and the way you do better. I'm not sweet, I'm honest. Well, thank you. I feel like a mouthful of spoons. Oh, it doesn't look good, does it? I always think that you guys can't see this area. I'm just gonna mute the mic real quick. There we go. Heck, you're an operating room nurse. I am, yes. So I've just moved back to Perth. So I don't have a job at the moment, and I'm working in my mum's furniture store for the next 2 weeks just to help her out. But I was working in Melbourne at a big public hospital, and so I specialise in a lot of general surgery, plastics and recon. I love it. It is a lot of fun, and you do get to see some cool things. It's not as gory as people say. Do you know, I had a student come in a few weeks ago because I was doing an educating position, and she said, you know, it's not as gory as people say. Like, you think about it. She told me that she was expecting a big dark room, like a black room with just like big lights over top of a table, like a murder scene kind of thing. And I was like, I was just shocked. I'd never heard that before. You know, you hear some weird things that people think, you know, it's nothing like the movies. There's not blood everywhere on the floor. Surgery is the safest place that you can be. If something happens on a ward or if something happens on the street, the place that you get brought to is an operating room. That's the place where it is very controlled. Every action is well thought out. and there's not a lot of blood. That is one of the most common mistakes about operating room. Trauma is a little bit different if there is bleeding and the patient comes through, but there's not a lot of blood in reality, and it isn't as gory. Well, yeah, some parts, depending what kind of specialty you're in. But it is an amazing place to be, especially in the private sector. You get amazing like bonds between surgeons and nurses, and like you work together as a team. That's my favorite part. I volunteer at my local hospital. I see you. Oh, really? Wow. What is that? When you say volunteer, what does that entail? That's incredible. You say that nursing is amazing. I think that the people that volunteer in a hospital and volunteer in general have a special place in heaven. It's very, very selfless. So this is your cream cheese frosting. So not too sweet. You can increase that sweetness if you like. So it's just got a little bit of lemon juice, cream cheese in there, and that's it. So 3 ingredients and very, very tasty. Perfect on something like a banana bread, but also a carrot cake. It's really nice. Just admin stuff to relieve pressure on the ICU nurses because I wanted to give back. I'd love to be a paramedic sometime when I'm done with my current career. Wow. What are you doing at the moment? What's your current career? Other than you're a streamer, I'm guessing as well. That's very exciting. Okay. Track or treats. We're ready to come out of the oven. And the banana bread, we'll take it out of the oven. We'll bring it over. Just use to put on something like that. Okay, so you have a skewer. You just want to put this in the middle of the cake. If it comes out clean, which it hasn't, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of batter. It's not ready yet. Brayden! How you doing? I got back into streaming recently, meeting so many cool people. Has been a good time. Lovely. You're a game developer. Wow. Okay. So bacon. I don't know if this. I like medical. My brother is a mental health nurse. That mental health nurse is one of the toughest jobs I think there is, and it's a credit to him. That it's very, very hard. So yeah, props to him. Okay, so this is your candied bacon. I think we could candy it a little bit more and make it a little bit crispier. Look at that. Just popping in before work. Look at this stickiness. Let's have a taste. Anything in care or nursing looks brutal. It can be. It's stuck to my. It still needs a tiny bit more brown sugar, I think. And that's why it's not caramelizing enough. Would be more gory. It isn't really too gory, is it? ICU as well as the ward. ICU is a lot more basic care because the patient's usually unconscious and can't do it for themselves. But also it's very critical. So you're monitoring. There's a lot of monitoring, a lot of beeping in ICU because if anything can go wrong, or it's where they're monitored a lot closer for more critically or acutely unwell patients. Hi, Chess. So this is definitely a sometimes treat. Amazing people. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys see that? It's really something different. Something that's different than I've ever had before. Because I think those spices really take it to another level. Like I've had a little bits of maple bacon before, but this really feels more warmth in it because you've got that cardamom, the ginger really, and ginger and nutmeg I think just make it really warm in your mouth and take you, you know, it reminds you of a different time, like in autumn or winter. And for the Americans, you'd think of like winter and Christmas, and something that you could nibble on. I think really nice, and it will be nice when it's crispy because then you can break it into little bits and then chew on it. Whereas it's a little bit soft at the moment. Okay, so I've got cream cheese icing. Putting that aside. Okay. Put that there. Now, I can take this away. Then we need to get our dough out. I don't know where I put it. There it is. It was in the fridge somewhere. Okay. So I did throw out my silicone mat when we moved here, so I need to get another one because it was the perfect second skin, so I could roll things out and then pick it up and flip it over, which I don't have it anymore, which makes me a bit sad. Hey Google, add silicone mat to my shopping list.
Okay, I've added silicone mats to your shopping list.
Okay. So this is your dough. It's very crumbly. And we're going to roll this out, and this is going to be the top for our pie. It might be a little bit too short, I don't know. It's a little bit cold, so we'll just see. I might put that aside and then we'll serve up this into our dish. Okay, so I just got this round casserole dish, and we're just gonna pop some of this in here. Like that. Oh, look at that. So good. Beautiful pieces of beef, as well as those beautiful beef sausages and your vegetables. Oh, I'm supposed to put some peas in here as well. Watch out, Jess. Do I have peas? I don't know if I have any peas. I think I had to throw them out when we moved house. I think that's the last time I had them. Okay, doesn't matter. Go. The celery's kind of dissolved, but you can always add a little bit more veggies in there next time. There we go. I'm going to bring this over. So that's, you could eat this as a stew if you wanted to as well, but we're going to add a nice pie casing on top. Just a covering. You could do underneath as well. There's more than enough dough, but I just think underneath will be good. Thank you so so much for those bits. In New Zealand, so going to bed now. Going to head off to sleep now. Loving to meet you. Thanks for the chat. Thank you for stopping in. It was so lovely to chat. And you're more than welcome to come back more often. And I'd love to catch your streams. Sorry, I meant to say, please join our Discord. That's where our community is. And thank you for stopping in. I hope you have a lovely sleep. All right. Okay. You're really heckin' cool. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's very sweet. All right. It's very crumbly dough. So I think it would have been easier if maybe blended it a little bit more, maybe with some more butter. I don't know. It's gonna be really flaky and crumbly, which is gonna be so nice. Okay. Let me just see how fine you need to make it. When I lost my page. Oh. Bacon crispy, definitely. Banana bread. See if we can go to the stove, please. Lost my skewer. Looking good. Or maybe a little bit longer. Yeah. But that bacon looks so good. Damn, son. The lame follow-up. No, don't say that, Ash. Don't say that at all. Nothing lame about that. Okay. There we go. 127. Remind me when I lose my page again. It's not going to fit yet, is it? Reckon that will fit? It needs a bit wider. Now I have to pick it up. Oh. Oh no. Oh, it's ripping. That's what you should do, like this. Roll it onto the pin, like that. And then you come here. And hopefully you can roll it off the pin, like that. Oh, it's so crumbly. Golly gosh. And then get a knife. Thank you for that bit. Thanks, Ash. I think it's going to be so tasty. And the good thing about this type of dough, right, is that you can fix any mistakes you make or any little bumps by making something to go over top. So, ready? What I'm going to do is see if I can add a little bit of water. Make it a little bit less dry so you can play with it a little bit more. So that's why I like the silicone mat, because you can do all this and then peel it off and then your bench is all clean. Okay. Oh. So then what you would do, cool, take that away, put a little bit of flour down. A little bit of flour like that, put it back on there and then roll it out. Could always just do this. So we've got our pie, and then we've got the bacon, candy bacon, so we're just waiting for that to cool. It's very crispy and caramelized. And then our banana bread should be nearly ready. Let's have a look. Beautiful. There we go. Beautiful banana bread. Oh, that's me touching the iPad. Sorry, guys. Cool. Now we're just going to cut out some little shapes for gracu. Gracu? Have we decided if it's gracu or grachu? Wait, you say candied bacon? It's called tracker treats. We're recreating some recipes. We're making some recipes from the World of Warcraft cookbook. So we're making grachu's homemade meat pie. So that's this one. We're doing banana bread, and then we're also doing tracker treats. So they're for bringing your animals home or something, it says. Never really liked banana bread, no. Never tasted homemade. Oh, you have to make your own. It's the best. Okay. It says to crimp the edges, but can't really crimp the edges. The pastry was really dry, so so we might do like a leaf. Like that. Cut whatever shapes you want. You could cut anything out, stars or whatever. I fucking love shapes. Roland Rizzlers, how you doing? And then what am I going to do? So one more leaf, I think. do is my mum used to make when we were... J Fry gifted us tier 1 sub, gifted a sub to Roland Rizzlers. Thank you very much, J Fry, for that gift. Roland, welcome to the Molly fam. How you doing today? So when I was little, when I was a young kid, my mum used to make roses like this. I think it was like this. And what you do is you crimp the edge and then you roll out like that. And then you pull out the edges like this. You cut the bottom like that. And so she always used to let me decorate. Thank you, Roland Mizzles. Thank you for that follow. Dirty. I have a fork knife now, Roland. What? Dirty fingers eating. All right. So we'll do another one of these. I don't like that one. I think we need 3. Let's see if I can make another one out of this. One of the coolest pies I've seen was a chulu. What? A what pie? Oh my god, that's so cool. HP Lovecraft Demon. Wow, that's amazing. See, just showed me a picture. Alright, so that's our pie. It's gonna go in the oven. Nice hot oven. Alright, let's serve up some stuff. And then we're gonna put our icing on our banana bread. So was that a pie made from a squid, or was that just has a picture of a squid? Okay. I was thinking about cooking spleen. Yeah, definitely next thing I'm buying is a silicone mat. Might Google it tonight. 8:30. Oh no, it's past 6's bedtime. So, that banana bread, that, you need to find some, just the design is squidlet. Okay, I'd hope, because I don't know about squid pie. Speaking of black things, I think we should do a Venom themed stream, because the Venom movie's coming out soon. You need to link it to Exceed. I see you're looking at an elongato. What if I told you you're an amazing $20 alternative with more options? Black pudding. Oh no, Yaksha. I don't know about that. Rolling knows what he's talking about when it comes to hardware. Okay. because we have an iPad at the moment, so we use an iPad with Air keyboard, but it's hard to like any touch, or it doesn't so we use the iPad. But anytime you touch it, and it's temperamental because you have to keep refreshing it and things. You want a huge 8x5 grid, you got it. Bigger, you got it. I just had foie gras for the first time a couple of days ago. What did you think? I think I had some when I was in France, and I was gonna bring some home. I think I bought a little jar, but I don't think it ever made it. I don't know. Okay. Candied bacon. This is banana bread. We're gonna put the lid on. So this is a little bit hot, so I'm just gonna poke some holes in it to try and let out some heat, because we can't really put the icing on if it's too hot. Look at this. Candied bacon. Duck Bendover, how you doing? Do you find WoW grinding? What do you mean? That's chewy. It was honestly amazing in taste, but I didn't get anything from the pudding-like texture. Yeah, it's like pate, but different. Look at this. It looks dark, but it's all of the caramelization. This one's really caramelized and chewy. And you can break pieces off because it's caramelized and crunchy. Whereas some of them, like this one, still a little bit chewier. So it's depending how you like the texture. Duck Bendover, this recipe is from the World of Warcraft Cookbook, so we're not giving out these recipes. What do you caramelize? So this is caramelized bacon. So it's bacon slices that have been basted with brown sugar, ginger, cardamom, nutmeg, coriander, salt and pepper. It doesn't look too good at the moment, but I'm just trying to find something to serve it on. And then these are called tracker treats. So these are from the recipe cookbook. Yeah, definitely. The recipes are everywhere online. There are some, so we did a World of Warcraft themed cookbook, and Jezzy sent me some recipes, and you also find them online. Well, you're right. The quality and the feel of the cookbook is incredible. Really adds to the experience. It's a high quality production and should be rewarded, definitely. Yep, definitely. So, I'll talk to this cam. You've got this candied bacon, the saltiness from the cured bacon with the brown sugar, and the spices. I think the spices, like, you could just do brown sugar on bacon and like it'd be candied bacon and boring, but I feel like the spices on this make it so much better. You can nibble on it like this and break little bits off and chew it, or I think it'll be really good on maybe some pancakes like I said, or maybe with the banana bread. You could put some banana bread with some butter and then some bacon. Maybe. I haven't seen anyone cook turkey bacon on string before. I've never seen Australian stores have turkey bacon, so I would make it if I could. I know it's really hard to see, but I'll take some nice photos of it. Maybe go to the stove. We've got some new lights coming for the stream to cut and light the place up. It's actually better than I thought. Alright, our pie is cooking. Banana bread time. Okay. It's a little bit too hot to put the the cream cheese frosting on at the moment, but I'll take some photos with it. Like, can you guys see that? I told you that it would start to caramelize around the edges, and it was really pale when we put it in. But you've got from that ripe banana, you've got the texture coming through there. You've got some pieces of the candied ginger. Look at that. A little bit of steam coming off. I like it to have, banana bread like this with warm, even like I put it in the microwave or toast it with a little bit of butter on there. It is so good. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break some of this off. I'm gonna get some of this cream cheese frosting. And look, what you do is just slather it like that, not too much. Here we go. Look at that. It's moist, but not too dense, which is really nice. And it's not too sweet. And then nice little bit of sweetness from here. Perfect afternoon snack. If I did it again, I'd probably put some nuts as well as the candied ginger. Maybe some walnuts in there, or pecans. All right. Not yet. A few more minutes and we'll take the pie out. Are you guys enjoying the WoW theme? Where is that little red thing? See, that's why I don't feel bad about people getting a PDF, because it doesn't replicate the value. Yeah. But I think that, the artist works so hard on the book that it's a little bit unfortunate when, that intellectual property, like anything, is released for free, when it says in here that it's been, a good few years in the making. Ozzy, wow, how you doing? Welcome back. The cookbook was a few years in the making because she wanted to make it right, and she wanted to get to know the game, and it's a little bit unfortunate when I think the recipes are ripped off and available for free. But I think it's the nature of the beast, I think, with the internet the way it is. How are you, Ozzy? So we're doing the World of Warcraft Wednesdays. We're recreating some of the recipes from the World of Warcraft cookbook. This guy here. There we go. Everyone knows Roland Rizzlers. Rizzes? Wow. Do you think it's that? Okay. Look at that. So we're gonna brown it a little bit more. Just a little bit more cooking. It's bubbling all over my oven. You can hear it. It's like when it bubbles over. Gotta run. See you, Brayden. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm back with clean hands. Good job. Good job. Okay. So it says in here, I'll read you the back. Prepare a feast fit for a war chief with World of Warcraft official cookbook, a compendium of sweet and savory recipes inspired by the hit game by the Blizzard Entertainment. Presenting delicacies favored by the Horde and the Alliance alike, this authorized cookbook teaches apprentice chefs how to conjure up a menu of food and drink from across the realm of Azeroth. Featuring food pairings for each dish, ideas for creating your own Azerothian themes and feasts, and tips for adapting meals to specific diets. This otherworldly culinary guide offers something special for everyone. An aromatic spice blossom soup is perfect for plant-loving druids, and orcs will go berserk for the fall-off-the-bone, beer-basted boar ribs. With alternatives to the more obscure ingredients, just in case you can't find that chimarok chops lying around, the comprehensive cookbook will ensure that you have no trouble staying well fed. Each chapter features dishes at a variety of skill level for a total of more than 100 easy to follow recipes for food and brews, including, some of the ones like the one we're making today, the Dragon Breath chili. That's the one we made on stream last time. Whether you're cooking for two or revitalizing your raid group for a late night dungeon run, World of Warcraft, the official cookbook, brings the flavors of Azeroth to life like never before. Chelsea Munro Cassell, who's the author, a lifelong artist and fan of fantasy, discovered her love of interesting food during a year living around Turkey. Like the literature and fictional setting she loves, Chelsea's work is the synthesis of imagination and historical research. Applying her multifaceted creativity to the passion that has led her to a career of transforming imaginary foods into reality, she greatly enjoys foreign language, treasure hunting, history, and all others related to honey. Oh, she's like me, I like honey. She and her husband currently live in an old Vermont house with a retired hound and a sturdy Manx cat. This is like the old kitchen. It does. I'm a chef. Does that mean I can cook the meals? I hope so. Have you qualified now, Ozzy? How's your thumb? Danielle, thank you for that host. Hello, guys. Welcome. My name is Molly. We are cooking some delicious food. We are recreating some recipes from the World of Warcraft cookbook, and we're going to be doing that every Wednesday. So World of Warcraft Wednesdays. We've just made some tracker treats. So these are candied bacon with different spices like cardamom, ginger, some nutmeg in there as well, some brown sugar. And then we also have some banana bread. I have the cream cheese frosting to go on the banana bread, but it's a little bit too hot at the moment. And we also have our pie. So that's coming out of the oven. There we go. Hoping by 2020, then I'm trying to get a job in London. Oh, nice. Very cool. There we go. So it needs to be browned a little bit more. It's brown on the edges, you just can't see on the camera. But we have our beautiful flaky dough. And should we cut inside? Whoop. Let me just get my plate. Oh, look at that. Oh no, my little roses. Oh no, stay there. Look at these guys. Look at that beautiful filling. Oh my gosh. Let's have a taste. Whew. It's very hot. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Mmm. Yum. I think once it cools down, it's gonna be really good. Wow. Ah. All right, guys. Can you see in there? So this is our Brachos meat pie. So in here we have leek, we have celery as well as carrot. We've got ground beef, beef sausages, as well as some big chunks of beef as well that we've slow cooked. And then we've made a flaky pastry as well. And then we have our tracker treats. So these are a candied bacon with brown sugar and a spice mix that we made of ginger, cardamom, nutmeg, salt and pepper. Really, really yum. Mmm, yum. And then this is our soft, beautiful banana bread. So that's got some bananas in there, and then also the addition of some caramelized ginger as well. So that's a nice little bit of spiciness. And then usually we'll still a little bit warm, but then I will take some photos with the cream cheese frosting as well. And that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It has been such a fun stream. Next week we are going to be making a Oktoberfest or Brewfest theme stream. So we've got 3 recipes coming. We've got some pretzels with a cheddar beer dipping sauce. We've also got, so I won't tell you, we've got some yummy recipes coming up. Really, I thought banana bread had apples in it. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow, next time on. So we will be making some roast lamb with some spring veggies tomorrow. We're also doing a magic mushroom spice blend that really adds some umami flavor. It's great for flavor enhancing. And then we also have evenings with Exceed. Studio Gilby this weekend. So we're making ramen from scratch. So we're going to be making a really nice tonkatsu pork broth. So that I'll probably start that on Friday and show you guys what's involved, and then we're going to put that overnight and cook it for a few hours. And then the vanilla custard as well on Saturday. Thank you everybody. Hey Andy, thank you everyone for stopping by. And we really appreciate you taking the time. It's been so lovely. This is some old and some new viewers as well. We're gonna jump over and we are gonna host Girl with the Woohoo Tattoo. She's one of the women's streamers. She's so lovely. If you want to jump over and say hello, a follow is free, guys, if you like her content. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a great sleep.